Hello, Oracles! Well, the rally continues into the shareholder meeting. We continue to go up, and today we closed over $900. That was a huge milestone for me. I was looking for us to close over 900 by the end of the week. I would still like us to close over 900 on Friday. We shall see how this goes. We are definitely in a very nice upward trend at the moment. RSI is still over 70. We just breached over 71. So looking back historically, usually when you're in the over 70 range, you're in the overbought stage. That means that typically at this point, there might be a sell-off to cool the stock off. So looking back at history with Tesla, the last time we were over 70 was back at the end of March when we had that nice March run going on. We were actually over 70 for 5 days in a row. So it doesn't mean that we have to sell off right away. There was actually a little sell down below 70 for a moment, and then we came right back up again as well. So again, this doesn't have to happen. I have a feeling we could continue this rally right through the annual shareholder meeting. And then depending on what news we get, that's going to determine how we finish the meeting off. We are anticipating that the stock split is going to get approved. We are also looking at maybe some surprise news. If we don't get any surprise news coming out of this, we might see a little bit of the sell the news type situation going on. But if we get something as a surprise, we could run up even further. Now, looking back even further in history to last October when we got the Q3 2021 delivery and production numbers, and then we got the Hertz news, we actually ran up into the 90s for the RSI. So that is totally possible. And we were actually over 70 from mid-October, right around the Hertz news time, right until my birthday, which happened to be the day that Elon announced that he was going to be selling shares. And then of course the stock plummeted from there and the RSI fell right along with it. So maybe this is a similar situation to what we saw back in October. Maybe it's going to be a similar situation to what we saw at the end of March. But either way, very bullish trends that we are on. We pushed up to the 923 level again today. That is the bull market territory. So we crossed and hit 935 yesterday. We hit 923 today. Still on a very nice upward trend. And this is continuing. And volume today was a little bit higher than normal at 31 million shares trading hands. So again, I have a feeling tomorrow we're going to be probably around close. I would love to see us close higher than we did today again, even if it's just a small amount, like today was just up 1.11%. Even if it's just that small amount going into the annual shareholder meeting, lots of good momentum going into this. Very excited to see what's going to happen. Very excited to see what Elon has cooking for this shareholder meeting. And now we have been seeing a lot of analysts lately have been raising their estimates going forward. Gary Black himself has raised his price target from $1,400 to $1,600, citing just the EPS numbers are looking stronger and stronger over the next 24 to 36 months. And we have a lot of other analysts coming in raising their EPS estimates as well. And Gary's looking at numbers out here saying, even looking at the street's forward PE for 2023, Tesla trading at 57 times earnings is so stupid low right now based upon the growth that the company has ahead of them. I mean, the stock price right now is still the bargain of a lifetime as far as I am concerned. I go back to when Elon was selling off and I said anything under $1,000 is going to be a steal. And that was back in December. And we are now here in August, still looking at prices under $1,000. And we just snuck over $900. This is still a great bargain. Where can we go from here? We don't know, again, for following the charts. And I know many of you have, maybe questioned charts and technical analysis. It's just one of the small pieces that I use. I follow news in the macro environment. There's a lot of geopolitical stuff that is going on right now, and Iacona and I have had discussions about that. That can definitely sway things a lot, especially in this environment that we're in with the macro news. And then of course there's the FUD news that comes out when it comes to Tesla. And Tesla sentiment can swing massively one way or another. Right now we're on a very strong upward swing. So things can go all over the place, and I take all of these different pieces into account, and then I put it all together with technical analysis. And quite honestly, when you start looking at technical analysis and you put sentiment news and the macro environment news all together into this, you can look back at history and basically pinpoint all of this. Like for instance, looking back to the Hertz news, you can see the RSI climbing right up. We were very high in the RSI over 90, which is extremely high. That's when we hit all-time highs, and people kept thinking that we were going to go up higher. I was wishing we were going up higher, of course. I never want to see the stock come down except to buy more. And then sure enough, random things happen. Elon came out with his news about selling things, and the stock came crashing way down. The RSI came crashing way down. But following trends all along the way, all of these signals hit those points. So they do end up tying together, and by paying attention to technical analysis, you can start to see some trends. And then what's crazy about them is you can follow these trends and say, hey, it seems like we're getting to a point, like a consolidation point. It seems like we're going to be getting a breakout or something at some point coming up soon. Maybe there's a breakout or a breakdown. We saw that with the consolidation going into earnings, and we talked about it on here and said, we are consolidating based on the charts. We are expecting a breakout or a breakdown somewhere in the near future, and we were just waiting for the news that was going to trigger that. And there was a lot going on that week, and that week just happened to be Tesla's earnings that caused that trigger to happen. So again, I don't just follow technical analysis, but when you start to track technical analysis, you can start to see, hey, I'm anticipating something coming up. We are trending in this direction, so I'm anticipating something is going to happen to break this trend or continue this trend going forward. So that's the reason I follow technical analysis. And you guys following along on here know, looking at some, resistance and support lines, we bounce off of them quite regularly. So it is something to follow just as a piece of what I do for my analysis for the overall stock movement. And so looking at the trends where we're at right now, again, we're on a nice upward trend. We've got the annual shareholder meeting coming. This could swing us one way or another, again, being over 70 with the RSI. I am anticipating a little bit of a cool off coming. But again, you never know the future. We could run up to 90. Back when we hit it in October, we were in the 90s and that was all-time highs. So I don't know if we're going to get to that point right here, but with the annual shareholder meeting, CPI and PPI data coming out next week, and then we're going to most likely be finding out the date of the split at the annual shareholder meeting, we could have a massive run coming in the month if we get the right news coming along and the macro environment behaves and assists us along the way as well. But then of course, if we get some poor CPI data or China decides that their exercises over by Taiwan, get a little too close, we can see maybe something in the macro environment pulling everything down again. So again, this is just something to pay attention to. I don't know what the future is going to bring. These are just the different key pieces. And in talking with you guys, it's great because you give me all your different ideas to give me, a good, well-rounded idea of the possibilities that can happen. So again, I always go back to, I always prepare for the worst and hope for the best. And right now I'm hoping that we just continue to run up and we cross $1,000 over the next couple of weeks, and then we continue to run through the split. That's my hopes. But I'm also planning on the side for the fact that we do have a gap that goes down to 742. We've got a gap that goes down to 776. We do have some uncertainty in the macro environment that could pull us down some. So that's why I have buy orders in at that 750 mark in my IRA. And I've got 10% cash sitting on the sidelines in case we pull back to that level. I will deploy more cash significantly at those levels. So this is just my plan. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. You guys have to do your own due diligence, but based upon all the things that I see, this is what I am planning for. And gosh, I'm really looking forward to some super news coming at the annual shareholder meeting. Again, if you guys have not voted, you have until midnight on August 3rd, which is tomorrow, Eastern time, to be able to place your vote. So if you have not voted, please make sure you go out there and vote. And then Vinny from Investment Club and I will be doing a live stream beginning at 5:15 p.m. Eastern time to handle the entire annual shareholder meeting. We'll watch the entire thing together, and then we'll give you guys our feedback afterwards and our insights as to what transpired from it. So we've got some awesome and exciting things going on this week. Thursday morning, I'm going to break down all the questions, the top questions that are being asked by retail investors for the annual shareholder meeting. Let me know in the comments below what questions you would love to be answered at the annual shareholder meeting. What information do you want to know about the company and what the future holds for them? Thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate all of your support and feedback. If you have not subscribed, please do so down below. Sign yourself up for notifications. I am over on Twitter at OracleTim1. I share all of the latest Tesla news, pertinent stock market information, and all of my daily trades. We do have a Discord chat, that link is down in the description, and if you'd like to support the channel any further, we do have a Patreon, that link is also in the description. Thank you so much, have a great one.